What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Oakland Basketball Show. We are live at RJ's Pub in Rochester Hills. He is the coach, Greg Kampe. My name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you all with us. And, Camp, it's the coldest day in the history of mankind yet again. This is wintertime, man. Wait till next Monday, I was told.
Well, I say this is the first seeing a guy do a show with a stocking hat on.
I'm freezing, Camp. I'm absolutely freezing.
What do you guys think of this? Huh?
Yes, I think you should have to get rid of it.
I don't know. I don't know. Bill Belichick would like it, I'm sure.
That's right. No, it is. It's cold. It's tough to get warm, though. We will say that. But
I'm actually kind of warm.
Well, you got the fire. Yeah, we got the fireplace behind us here, as we always do. Camp split on the road. The toughest road trip in the Horizon League. Able to get a split after falling at Wright State with all the pressure on. The guys came through at Northern Kentucky and got a big win. Yeah,
I'm still pretty disappointed though in the loss at Wright State. You know, we had a chance to win there 3 years in a row, which is unprecedented. Anybody doing that, and you know, we got a 13-point lead early. Then we really struggled offensively late in the first half, and then down the stretch, you know, we couldn't make a free throw. And the difference between Northern Kentucky and Wright State was the free throw line. You know, we were able to keep our lead at Northern Kentucky because we made free throws. I think we were 11 of 12 or 12 or 13 or something like that, versus 6 of 14 or whatever the ridiculous number was at Wright State. So, you know, it was a tough loss. It was one that I wasn't really pleased with. You know, we'll talk more about the defense and things like that, but, you know, you go to Wright State and you hold them to 66 points, you're supposed to win. And we didn't. And so it was disappointing, really disappointing. And, you know, I got to get over that. The players got over it, came back, played a great game at Northern Kentucky. You know, we had the last 3 minutes of the first half, again, were not good at Northern Kentucky. But other than that, the other 37 minutes were really good basketball, really well played. We had great leadership, especially in the second half. We had a freshman come through and make a key shot. You know, we brought a player out of a red shirt, kind of, you know, changed everything, and you know, kind of jump-started us a little bit. And, you know, we were on the rocks. I mean, we if we're going to, you know, again, you know, you hear me say all the time the first goal is to be in the top four, and if we'd have lost both those games, that would have been really a struggle to get to the top four. So we feel better about ourselves. The schedule's more in our favor now for 3 or 4 weeks, and we've got a chance to get a streak going and you know, get some wins in a row and maybe start to peak as a team.
If you want to get involved with the Oakland Basketball Show, you can on Twitter with the hashtag AskCampy. We'll read those tweets. We got some of those stacking up as we speak. If you're watching it on the Golden Grizzlies YouTube channel, just jump into that YouTube chat and get your thoughts out there, and we'll address those as the show goes on. Right around 6:30, that's when we do our Ask Campy segment of the show. We'll talk to DQ Cole, by the way, coming up in about 10-12 minutes from now, so we'll chop it up with DQ up here. And Camp, I think DQ being here, and that's kind of a good place to start with that game on Saturday. Look, when you're on the road, you need to get off to a good start, and DQ Cole, he went full DQ Cole there, and he got it cooking in the first half.
Yeah, that was the DQ cold-blooded that they termed him last year in the NCAA tournament, right? And
yes,
we need that. I mean, it's not a coincidence that our 2 best games of the year on the road are the games that he made shots in. You know, it's not a coincidence. Toledo, you know, a big double-digit win on the road, 30-some points on the road, and then a double-digit win at Northern Kentucky. 2 really difficult places to play. He set the tone in those games by coming out and knocking some shots down, and he was searching shots. He was hunting shots, which we need him to hunt shots. We need him to score. We struggle to score. And, you know, we score the ball extremely well in the post. And everybody knows that, so, you know, they're guarding from the rim out. And, you know, until we can consistently knock down some perimeter shots, we're going to struggle to score. So him and the way he played Saturday, we need that. We need that on a consistent basis, and he can do that. You know, he's capable of that. He's not shot the ball the way he's capable of shooting it, but it's a long season. And, you know, Jack Gohlke we were talking at times last year, he had, you know, but nobody would even think about that about Jack now. It's how you finish. And hopefully that's a step in the right direction for him. And I think he understands and knows we need him to score the basketball, not just make 30-foot jump shots, or set shots or whatever he shoots. We need him to get to the rim and score. We need him to get to the free throw line. We need him to, to be a threat and be guarded and game planned against. And with that happening, as you've seen, we play pretty well.
Camp, you've been doing this a long time, so I'm going to ask you a question.
Why do we keep saying that? Everybody keeps saying that.
Because you have.
Yeah,
It's a factual.
my God.
Camp, it's not opinion. It's a fact.
I get tired of hearing that, though.
Okay. Camp, you're a basketball coach.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
you've seen a lot of things. How about the roller coaster of a season? I did want to talk about this with you because this year, I mean, the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, it's over, we're back, all of it. And, you factor in the competition that we played and have had great success against and the stages that we played on and have done very well. As you look at this season, which I know that's not what you do, you don't sit there and look back. You're a staff. You're always getting ready for the next game. Is this one of the more roller coastery, if that's a word I can make up right now, is this one of the more roller coastery seasons?
No.
Because you've been doing it a long time, right?
Right. What this is, and I say this to my team, the first practice every year. 90, I make up the percentages because I can't remember exactly what the percentage is. 85%, I think it is, of all college basketball games end within 10 points. And the difference between a great record and a good record and an average record and a bad record is winning close games. And you remember our mantra last year was we win all close games. And other than, the overtime loss at Northern Kentucky and the Toledo game where, a foul wasn't called that should have been called and we should have, at the very least, I think Trey Townson's going to make the free throws and we're going to win, but he's going to make one and go to overtime, right? We won every close game. And this year we've got 5 losses where we've had an 8-point lead or more against, our level of competition. And that's the difference. And you can call it a roller coaster or not, but it's no different. I mean, everybody, you've given leads away. Everybody gives leads away.
Right.
Michigan State yesterday, I mean, you when you're on the road, you just got to be 1 point ahead when it's over. You can't worry about that. And what happened to us is that we gave leads away and lost. And so, you ride that loss instead of riding that win. When you win, you forget about it. And we as coaches, we have to remain, true to, we got to play the next game, we got to play the next possession, and you can't worry about how this played out because your goal is March. That's your goal. And so while it looks as a roller coaster and it's upsetting in that, and there are too many losses, it's not much of a difference in any other year except we're losing the close games. And we're losing the close games. When I tell them at the beginning of the year in that speech, that means the free throw line is the difference. And it really is. You make free throws. I was watching, before we played Saturday, I was watching Texas Tech play Iowa State. Iowa State's ranked, I don't know, they might be first now. They were second, they're third. They dropped a third?
Second or third.
I can't believe they're third, but they're playing at Texas Tech. Texas Tech has a chance to win. They got the 13-point lead. Of course, Iowa State comes back, and a 91% free throw shooter splits his free throws, and Iowa State goes down, makes a basket to send it to overtime. Then they go into overtime, they get a lead, and then they miss free throws again. It happens to everybody. Good teams, great free throw shooters, bad free throw shooters. If you go and look at our losses, I'll show you the missed free throws that led to the loss. We at Hawaii, we missed a 1-and-1. Oregon State, we missed a 1-and-1. Now, what that allows to happen is a stupid play. We're Oregon State. We've still, despite the fact we blew the 14-point lead, it was a 5-point game. And Oregon State shoots a shot with 40 seconds to go. Our defense is great. The shot clock goes down. Shots taken with 2 or 3 seconds on the shot clock, and it goes right back to the guy that shot it, and we didn't check him out, and he scores, cuts it to 3. If we get that rebound, yeah, probably win that game, or we go to the free throw line. Maybe we miss again, but we're going to the free throw line, possession in the ball with 30 seconds to go. And it comes down to making free throws. Now, when you don't make them, you have to be perfect, right? A guy can't bank one in or throw one in, or the guy from Wright State who I would want to shoot the shot he made, the 15-foot jump shot from the free throw line to take the 2-point lead with 20 seconds to go or 14 seconds to go. We would want that shot every possession. But he made it, right? If we make our free throws, it's tied. We're not behind, it's tied. And you have to make free throws, and we don't do it. Now, we did it Saturday, and look what happened. We've just got to get better at it, and we've got to get more confident at it. And I mean, we got a guy on our team that was a 90-some% free throw shooter last year that's shooting 60-some%. You know, there was a play in the Wright State game, and these are the little plays on the road that make a difference. We're blowing the game out. We get a steal, a transition. He goes up, he lays it up. It doesn't go in. He gets fouled. If it goes in and he makes the free throw, it's 3, and he misses both free throws.
Right.
And so it's an empty possession. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying this is why we've lost those games. And that's the difference between winning and losing. And that's how close we are. And in league play, you just, other than Gonzaga in their league, I don't care what league you look at, teams are going to be close. The games are going to be close. It's hard to win on the road. They're going to be close. We know everybody. We know what they do. We play them 2-3 times a year. So we've got to fix that. And if we fix it, I think our ceiling's really high. I've said that to you people all year. I like our ceiling.
Well, Camp, we've seen it within games.
Yeah.
Within games, we've seen that.
Yeah. But our floor is not very good. That's a little different this year. Our floor is not good, and the reason the floor is low is because of our offensive droughts. And I told our guys, I said, look, our defense, our half-court defense, is elite. If you've got to come up and play against 5 guys and play offense, our defense is elite. It's as good as it's ever been at Oakland University, and it's as good anywhere. You go talk to Izzo, go talk to Calipari, go talk to those coaches, and they will tell you, my God, we don't want to play against. And so what's happening is everybody's trying to rush the ball up the court and take quick shots against us, or they're trying to run the ball up and get you isolated and get you one-on-one, because we do have some guys that struggle a little bit guarding the ball. And that's how you beat us, or get offensive rebounds. No one wants to play against 5-on-5 or half court. The problem is when your offense is bad as our offense has been, in your shot, you shoot an air ball, or you shoot a corner 3 that bricks out and starts the fast break. A lot of the game we're playing against transition. And then the other thing we have to clean up is is another area we're elite in is offensive rebounding. It's not even close. It's the best offensive rebounding team Oakland has ever had. We've had 3 games this year with 20 or more offensive rebounds. I don't think we've had 3 games in the last 15 years with 20 offensive rebounds. We've had 3 in 1 year.
Baru gets 4 per possession sometimes, man.
And I was bragging about that to somebody, and they go, well, you miss a lot more shots than you normally miss too. And they're right with that.
All right.
They're right with that.
Fair play.
But, so we're elite in 2 areas, and when you're elite in any area, you've got a chance to win games, and we're elite in 2 areas. So eventually, we could be a special group. The problem is you can't go through 5 minutes, and it seems like we do that every game, 3 to 5 minutes where we can't score the ball. And that's got to get better. We're working on it. We're pushing it. But to be honest with you, players like DQ just got to step up, and we've got to make some shots, and we've got, Isaiah's got to make some shots, and DQ's got to make some shots, and Jalen's got to be, a little more consistent with his shot making. We're getting better at our turnovers. We're getting better at understanding how to play the game. We're not taking as many poor shots. There's a lot of people that think a lot of our threes are poor, but in our system and the way we play, I want Christie shooting shots like that. I want DQ firing shots like they fire, because when you're making some of them, they have to guard you all over the floor, and that's going to open up our best part of it, and that's the two guys inside.
Camp, I went and checked the top 25 just to see like where everybody was. It's not something I monitor all the time because we're in
Top
our season and
25
doing
of what?
everything of college basketball. Iowa State's 2. Coach Calhoun, number 22, Utah State.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. So good to see him having some success out there. And all right, let's do this, Camp. We'll take the first break. When we come back, we'll be joined by DQ Cole, of course. And don't forget, there's still time to get involved with the Ask Campy portion of the show on Twitter with the hashtag Ask Campy. Get your questions there. I noticed the YouTube chat is filling up with the Ask Campy questions, so you can do it there as well. And don't forget that the Oakland Basketball Show is brought to you by Henry Ford Sports Medicine, the official team physicians for Oakland University and you. For more info, visit henryford.com/athlete. Be back with more of the Oakland Basketball Show live at RJ's Pub.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card.
You know, they say, losing hope, that's the real disaster. When Tropical Storm Fred sent a devastating wall of water and debris down this river, it seemed hopeless. But when the waters receded, Belfour was here. Not just to rebuild, but to help restore the life of this community. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Your Oakland University Golden Grizzlies.
Drives to the basket, and it's in!
The biggest games on the blacktop.
4-3. Of course! Borowski from 3!
We need you there.
Golden Grizzlies fans, get out your dancing shoes!
Restoration is more than walls. It's more than paint. It's more than cleaning. That's the thing we'll never forget. For Belfour, it's your memories. It's your life's passion. It's your home.
Welcome back to the Oakland Basketball Show live at RJ's Pub in Rochester Hills. As always, brought to you by Henry Ford Health. My name is Neil Rule, the voice of the Golden Grizzlies, and it's my honor to welcome in our guest for the night, the pride of Pontiac, Mr. DQ Cole in the house, everybody. Give it up for DQ.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, DQ, of course. Ton of stuff I want to get to with you, and certainly we'll work our way through all this. By the way, if you have a question for DQ, you want to drop in the YouTube chat, go ahead and do that. DQ, you're open to questions, right?
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Always.
Definitely. So if you have a question for DQ, go ahead and fire away with that. But DQ, I'll back up to something I just asked Coach Kampe, and it's something where I've noticed this with players, be it you guys, Division I, professional NBA players, NHL players, all of it. I wouldn't ask you about like the roller coaster thing because you guys literally move on every single time, every single game, every single half, every single possession. You guys just move on, right?
Yeah, definitely. Me and Buru, we talk a lot about just next play mentality. Last year, we thrived on that a lot, just letting it go. Next play, there's plays where coach might just rip you out. Maybe a mistake, whatever the case may be, but we just tell guys just next possession. We know it's hard, but we got to keep playing. We can't let one become two. That's one of our biggest things we go throughout games, practices. Don't let one become two. Even when we lose, we don't want one to become two. We just take that and we just run with it.
DQ, what about this season so far for you? You heard Coach Kampe talking about it and what he was looking for from some of the guys on the team. What's been your impression of the season so far?
It's been it hasn't been our typical year, what we want. We lost some games that we definitely should have won, obviously. Just taking it one day at a time now is just one of the biggest things I try to get the guys to understand. Coach emphasized it today in practice, just winning today, winning the day at hand, and not focusing on the Horizon League playoffs or what the standings will be at the end of February. Just focus on the day at hand and winning the day. So just staying together every day, making sure guys are coming in, working hard every day, getting better, focus on the scout, whatever we're going through that day. If it's a light day and we're just getting shots up, making sure guys are going hard, getting shots up. Just everything we do, win the day and do it for each other.
DQ, you've really assumed the leadership role. And as a guy that travels with the team, I see it. You know, when Kampe asks a question, kind of all eyes go to you. And, you know, and I know, like, last season, obviously, you know, you had Trey and Jack and everything like that. How much did you learn from those guys? Because I see a lot of the same mannerisms in the way you handle stuff.
Oh, yeah. Having those guys around was huge. Being able to learn from those guys that have been around camp for years and have been taking his coaching and know how to take his coaching. Just, you know, learning different pointers, like from Blake Lampman, halftime at Northern Kentucky. Buru just told us about conversation he had with Blake and how to make things easier for us as a team, even though we're struggling to score the ball and stuff like that. So it's just taking what they gave us last year and applying it to a group of younger guys, I would say. We're not as old as we were last year. It's just a group of younger guys that are all hungry to learn, and we're it's tough. So just keeping those guys head high and confidence high is one thing I really try to do as a leader.
Talking with DQ Cole here on the Oakland Basketball Show. We're live at RJ's Pub in Rochester Hills. And DQ, I talked about it, the Pride of Pontiac, the middle school team, the middle school that you went to.
Oh, yeah.
They're rising up right now, huh?
Yeah, shout out to Pontiac Middle School. They're hopefully they'll be 2 years in a row undefeated in their region. So that's a great thing for them. Big shout out to them for sure.
You laid the foundation, huh, for Pontiac
yeah.
Middle School?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Made it a great program.
Oh, yeah, I love those guys.
DQ, I did want to talk about last year with you to some degree, and the shot that you made against Kentucky. I still, to this day, on Instagram Reels, and I'm sure you're tagged in some of them as well. I mean, it's almost a daily thing. Somebody will go back and like the Instagram Reel of the shot and stuff like that. How has that changed your life? Because you're cemented in Oakland basketball lore forever. I mean, just the shot, the reaction, the stakes, the opposition, the stage, all of it. How has that shot changed your life?
Oh man, it's been crazy. From the time that shot, after we got in the locker room, it was just love from everybody, from Pontiac to everywhere. It was just love from everywhere. It felt great. Obviously, being in the moment was just like, it was surreal. Having those guys just love every bit of it. We were there. We fought hard throughout the end, and we got what we deserved, which was a big win in March Madness, which obviously we wanted to go further, but people didn't expect us to get there. And just to be able to step up and rock it, kick it to me, and I knock it down, it was a moment to remember for sure.
No doubt about that. Talking with DQ Cole. DQ, this season, like you heard Kampe talk about it as well. It's probably not a coincidence. A couple of the best performances of the season, the win at Toledo, you popped off. Saturday at NKU, you popped off certainly in the first half as well. As far as you're concerned, DQ, and I'm not going to say are you surprised by it or anything like that, because we've seen you do that many, many times. What's been some of the commonalities in your good performances this year?
I think just coming out and being aggressive. Coach has been on me all season. Bobby, Smitty, they're always on me. Look to attack, look to score. We need you to score. And I can say sometimes I take a step back because I see Allen and Buru and those guys are scoring at will, but I got to be that guy that's their outlet when they're getting double team, triple team. I got to be their outlet. And some games I have to start it off strong for us, which is not a problem. I love doing it. I love scoring the ball. I just have to be more consistent, as Coach said, and all my teammates believe in me, so I just got to make it happen for my team.
What are some of the things you can do, I guess? Because, and is there something you can do even? Because we know the track record, right? And we've seen it this year. Is that something that's kind of tough to battle at times, I guess you could say, like when the shot isn't falling to what your expectations are?
It could get frustrating, but I keep myself in the game every other way, whether in that zone, if I'm flying around, I'm talking, tipping passes, getting steals, getting Allen, Buru going, getting Jalen going, getting Malcolm going, getting those guys going. Just keeps me flowing. So I'm always thinking the next one's going in, even if I'm not knocking it down at the time. I'm always thinking the next one's going in. But keeping those guys going, I feel like I'm able to. They keep me going. Little do they know, but they keep me going. So.
Camp was talking about this team defensively, and 5-on-5 in the half court. You guys are elite. Now, as I always say, and Camp would agree with this, and when he comes back on and puts a headset on, he'll say, yeah, I agree with that. I'm just a dumb media guy, right? All the time. All I know, DQ, is this, because I'm kind of asking you to shed some light on this for me. I know that when the ball's at the top and offenses begin their attack, they get turned back around. We call it turning them negative, bringing them backwards and things like that. I have not seen you guys do that to the level you are doing that this season. It seems as though a team doesn't get inside the three-point line until there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is this such an elite defense?
Man, our coaching staff, Coach Kampe said after Northern Kentucky that our coaching staff is elite. Coach Bobby, Coach Smitty, Coach Trey, those guys put their all day. They'll be in the office all day just scouting, going over scout, making sure we know where teams are trying to attack us from, and then we have to do our part, which is going out, being aggressive, attacking the ball, making teams retreat and not let them just come at us. And when we're attacking and we're flying around, it's pretty tough to score on us. And we have our droughts sometimes where we're a little lackadaisical and we just kind of just go through the motions, which is not okay. So we're working on those droughts every day, but yeah, just flying around, just making sure guys are just know personnel, know what guys' tendencies are, and just get out and be aggressive with teams.
That zone, DQ, I don't think people fully grasp the concept of this. You have to go hard every second of every possession. The second that you stop is the second that you get scored on. What's it take? What's it take to do something that's that physically demanding?
Oh man, it takes a lot of talk, communication. Communication is one of the biggest things in the zone. You would think something's going wrong, and over a little communication, 1 word, 2 words, everything could be fixed. But it could all go wrong just as fast as it gets fixed by not talking. So we stress talking a lot, just communicating, knowing where guys are flashing into that high post. Just communication is a big piece. And then being aggressive, flying around, making sure we're boxing out, finding guys to hit and finishing possessions with a rebound, which we kind of struggle with right now. But like I said, we're growing every day. So
the zone defense is a lot like marriage then, DQ. That's what you're saying, right?
Oh, yeah. Got to be committed for sure.
Absolutely.
Have to be committed.
DQ, before we let you go here, the Lions, they cashing this in?
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubts, is there?
Oh, yeah. Cooper Craig's on our team. He's the guy that keeps me on edge about the Lions. So
he's a super fan.
Yeah, he's a super fan. He loves them. All Detroit teams. Coop's a huge fan. So and he's rocking really hard right now, especially for the Lions. So.
Absolutely. Well, DQ, you always rock it really hard on these interviews, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking some time, and keep it rolling, DQ.
Oh yeah, definitely.
DQ Cole, everybody. We'll be back with the Ask Kampe portion of the show. This is the Oakland Basketball Show live at RJ's Pub in Rochester Hills.
Yes, sir.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card.
You know, they say losing hope That's the real disaster. When Tropical Storm Fred sent a devastating wall of water and debris down this river, it seemed hopeless. But when the waters receded, Belfour was here. Not just to rebuild, but to help restore the life of this community. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Your Oakland University Golden Grizzlies.
Drives to the basket, and it's in!
The biggest games on the blacktop.
4-3. Of course! Borowski from three!
We need you there.
Golden Grizzlies fans, get out your dancing shoes!
Restoration is more than walls. It's more than paint. It's more than cleaning. That's the thing we'll never forget. For Belfour, it's your memories. It's your life's passion. It's your home. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Back at it here on the Oakland Basketball Show, live at RJ's Pub in Rochester Hills. He's a Coach Greg Kampe. My name is Neil Rule. The great Greg Hessen back in the 1270 The Bet, your home for Golden Grizzlies basketball season long studios. Happy to have you all with us. We got a ton. Camp, I think we've reached the threshold here. I don't think we're going to be able to get to all these.
We'll get to them. I won't talk as much.
It does. There's a lot, Cam.
Okay, let's go.
All right, then let's do it. We won't waste any more time. Pittsburgh Marty. Well, we keep traditions though around here. We're not like college football. We're going to keep traditions.
He texted me. He was mad that he wasn't first last week.
Well, that was on him. He didn't get the question in first. So,
okay.
Marty, that was your fault. You admitted as much. But Pittsburgh Marty, our zone defense has been incredibly effective at times, especially in the second half against NKU. It was shades of the old John Chaney matchup zone at Temple back in the day. What are the two most important things our guys need to execute and play this defense well?
I think you and DQ just talked about it. And DQ, you know, one of the reasons, there's lots of reasons that people don't play zone. The biggest reason is fans don't like zone. And coaches get criticized when they play zone that they can't coach. And that's why they just throw guys out there and play. And so you have to, as a coach, you have to believe in yourself a great deal to do it and understand when somebody makes a three, oh, that's because they play zone, you know. And so you have to believe in it. Our players have to believe. You have to be committed to what we're doing. And then you have to play your butt off on every possession. And if you don't, you're going to give up, you know, you're going to give some things up. So and then for our zone's very unique. And the only reason it's unique is because it's metamorphosed over time, you know. For example, this year we went to Youngstown, and Youngstown came up with something new. We hadn't seen it, and it hurt us. And then Cleveland State did it. And now we think we fixed that. And there's a call now that we have and how we're going to do it. And so now that when a team lines up like that, the zone will look completely different than it did a month ago. And over years and over, you know, time playing it, and players, you know, the more they play in it, the more comfortable they are in understanding and reading. Example, Fort Wayne came in here last year and kicked the living crap out of us, made everything. It was one of the greatest offensive games I've ever seen. But they didn't the next two times we played them because they did something that was unique, and we fixed it. And so the zone changes over time. And zone defenses that are matchup defense, they're just not a 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone or a 1-3-1. It's just not your basic, you know, father's zone. It's a matchup zone that's really more man-to-man. I mean, I've had at least 5 times this year I've heard a player on the other team yell at their coach. They're playing man-to-man. They're not in the zone. And we weren't. But, you know, it was the zone, but we do play a lot of man principles in it. So we talk about elbow to block. Our players have to go from the elbow to the block in lightning speed, and if they do, the defense is going to be really good. So it's understanding elbow to block concepts, and then it's also you got to play your butt off.
We're falling behind the pace, Cam,
I know.
just so
Go,
you know.
go,
All right.
go.
Horizon Matt, you said last year the rivalry with Mercy is not the same and doesn't have the same focus for you. With the game being this week, do you still feel that way about the game?
I have not said a word to anybody about Detroit this year. You know, one of the reasons is that we've won 10 years or so in a row in Detroit, and every year that we win, we lose the next game. And we're beyond that. We've got to just worry about ourselves. And the rivalry's the rivalry. You know, I don't think people have latched onto it like they first did. You know, I remember playing there, and there were 6,000, 7,000 people at the game at Callahan. We would take 3 busloads of students down. Now, you know, it isn't that way anymore. Now, I do think Mark Montgomery's going to do something special there, and it's going to get back to that. But I'm not right now. We're playing a team Wednesday night, and it's not your father's IUPUI. And Smitty said that this week to our team, and he's dead right. It's not your father's IUPUI or IU Indy or whatever they're called now. It's not them. We'll talk about them later. So we got to worry about that and not worry about Detroit. We got 2 days to prep for Detroit. We will. And we got to go there and win because we have to win every game we play now.
MD Fun 89, who's here in the house, asked Kampe, and I tried to do this. Maybe you'll be a little more open about it now. Describe your halftime talk at Northern Kentucky. Maybe I should ask DQ this one.
I would be fired if my boss had been standing outside the locker room listening. But it's nothing compared to what it was 15, 20 years ago. It's still as bad as it was the other night. It's still nothing like they used to be. But days have changed. Times have changed. You can't really say some of the things I've said after the game. But we needed it. They needed it. And I got men. I got older kids that are men. And I think they owned up to it. And look what they did. You know, and I don't ever want to do that again with these guys. I just don't want to. I didn't feel good walking out there afterwards. And I will tell you, 20 years ago, I kind of liked doing that. I kind of liked it. But you can't do that stuff anymore. So it was not good. It was not good. I'm not proud of myself. Let's just say that.
All right, let's go to the Golden Grizzlies YouTube page and the YouTube chat thread. Gary McCarrick, will DQ get an additional year of eligibility based on the recent JUCO rulings?
He's going to probably have to appeal right now based on the ruling, no, because one of the caveats they put is that you have to be in your 5-year window still. And this is his 5th year of college basketball, so he does not. But I think if he appeals it, he'll win. And he won't be the only one. He's not the only one that's not in their 5th, that's in their 6th year.
So it won't be the DQ Cole rule then?
No, there'll be 50 athletes like DQ that will be appealing. And it's going to come down to what DQ wants to do. I mean, he's got a professional career ahead of him too. So let's just finish the year and worry about that at the end of the year. Let's go win another championship and worry about that later.
Gemini fan on the YouTube chat, any update about Malcolm Christie? How long is he supposed to be out for?
It's uncertain. We're waiting on our doctors to look at the x-rays and all that kind of stuff. We went to the urgent care down in Northern Kentucky, and I mean, it's Kentucky, right? I mean, our doctors are going to figure it out,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing a week to 2 is what I'm hearing. But until our doctors, and when I left office today, our doctors had not seen the x-rays yet. They were getting them today, and so Bree will tell me tomorrow morning what they said. And I know he's not going to play Wednesday, so I'm not, and the last thing I'm going to do is say, hey, you got to play Saturday. When my doctors tell me he can play, he'll play.
Horizon Roundtable in the YouTube chat of the Golden Grizzlies YouTube channel asked DQ, now that you're deep into the season, when's the last time you watched the end of the Kentucky game? And Horizon Roundtable, we played it while he was on here. So literally the last time he was sitting up here.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, 5 minutes ago. That's the answer to that one. Gary also wants to know, can you talk about what the name, image, and likeness environment will look like for Oakland next year based on current lawsuits, rulings that will take place next year?
Well, we're still waiting to understand what we can do with, through the university. And if it's through the university, we're going to have money to go. I'm going to make sure of that. I would like to see us be right at the top of the league in it. I think we're going to have to be. But no one really knows yet what's going to happen. We're until the end of February, how it's going to be done, and then each university's got to come to grips with paying kids.
It's the reality. It's going to be the reality, right?
I mean, I can't wait to go in and say, okay, here's this check, blah, blah, and our financial aid office go, what the hell are you doing? You're not doing that with Oakland money. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But we're on it. We're waiting for all the chips to fall where they may, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to be competitive in the NIL world. And it's really not NIL world anymore. It's revenue sharing world. If we can bring in $1 million of money through revenue, can we give 20% of that to the players? Can we give 10% of that to the players? I'm hoping that we can, and that we're going to have to. Otherwise, we're not going to be bringing in that kind of money because we're not going to be winning any games. So.
Gary also asked too, and this was a spin-off of that, can schools use charity preseason games moving forward to pay players, which you've discussed before?
That's what we did this year, and each one of our players received an NIL check from the charity. It wasn't much. I think it was maybe a couple grand a kid. It wasn't a lot. It's not like, we've got, here's 50 grand to, complain.
Right.
But we're going to, we're trying. Everybody's trying to figure it all out, and every dollar counts, and every dollar I can raise counts, and that it's at the end of the year, everybody's going to go and say, how much can I make? Yeah, and that's life.
Just like the job market, right?
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So we're going to play the game.
Jake Woloch, who's not here tonight, but usually rolls out to the Oakland basketball show. This is a new Detroit Mercy team. We're used to coming up with a new coach. What challenges will they provide us on Saturday?
Well, everybody, I've watched them. I've watched every team in our league play. Everybody's talking about how hard they're playing and what a great job Mark is doing in getting them to play hard. And I like Mike Davis. Mike Davis was a good basketball coach. So, he and I were good friends. And I know you're not supposed to be friends with your rival, but we were. And I thought the world of Mike. So to sit here and say, well, this team plays hard, I'm not going to say things like that because I respected Mike as a coach and what they did. How he handled last year with that had to be the worst thing of his life. And I thought he handled it with a lot of class, and he's a great person. But it is a new year. I hear they're playing their tails off. They're injury-ridden right now, though. And now my guess is they'll all be back for our game. But, their top 2 or 3 players didn't play. They started 5 freshmen in their game. And I hope they start 5 freshmen against us.
Jake Woloch followed up and said, Neil, change my question to ask about the challenges IU Indy will present us. Thank you.
Yes, there you go.
We can get to that in the next segment.
Jake, we'll talk about that in the last segment.
Absolutely. Tyler Manning in the YouTube chat. DQ Cole, this is Tyler Manning's cousin. I love you, cuz. Keep up the good work in your basketball career, and I hope you make it to the NBA. So there's that one out there for you.
We all do, cuz.
Yeah. Gary, Greg, if you can make a drop of that back in the station, that would be elite, by the way. Gary McCarrick, any scheduling updates for games next year?
We got Houston. How about that? That's going to be awesome. The last time we went to Houston, we won too. Yep. I'm not sure they're going to let that happen next year, but we're going to have Houston, who will be a top 5-6 team in the country. We're talking with Purdue. I'd like to get Purdue back on the schedule. So, it's all communications right now. Nobody's going to really, except the top teams, because they don't care how good we're going to be. But, all the other, the power 5s that are middle of the road, they're going to wait and see who stays. If I've got Baru and Allen and DQ and all those guys back next year, we probably won't play us. So, they'll wait to see.
Last one. We'll wrap it up with this. The Nick 24 asked Kampe, let me know if you need a caddy at Oakland Hills this summer.
I can get you in a job interview for the caddy. I mean, that we can do that. I mean, they make good money. I mean, it's ridiculous how much we pay a caddy out there. So that'd be a good job for somebody.
Oh,
Really
I'm sorry, Camp. One last one. Are you seeing schools model your zone defense and asking to learn more about it? What makes your zone defense stand out or difficult to play against?
The uniqueness of it, I think, and again, it's unique because it's been used over time. And it's, the same coach has been at the same place playing the same defense. And the more the kids are with you longer, they play it even better. I said this a couple weeks ago that we did a video on it, and it was the #1 selling video. Now, I get calls all the time, and Smitty gets calls all the time, and I'm sure Colin gets calls all the time, people asking questions about it and that, but you can't mimic it. You can start with the base slides of it and mimic that, but then it's got to become yours, and that's why it's so unique. I got asked that question after the Michigan State press conference. The Michigan State guy asked me why more people don't play it, and I'll still go back to that answer: is fans don't like it. Fans think you can't coach when you play zone. So coaches, if they're not comfortable in their skin, they're not going to play it. And a lot of times bosses and ADs and people like that don't like it either. But I guarantee you.
I liked it a lot on Saturday.
Well, we give up runs, but I can take the best defensive team in the country and show them giving up runs too. And I can show them giving up wide open threes from the corner. I can show that, good offense always beats good defense, but good offense has to end with a make, right? You can run excellent offense and miss, and then, look, the defense is great, right? No, they just missed. If you're standing and shooting a three and nobody around you, you should make it at 50 to 55% of the time if you're a good shooter. Well, that's only 5.5 out of 10 shots. So they're going to miss some
You're just as
too.
likely to miss.
Right. The key is to make them contested.
All right, Camp, we'll take the final break, and then when
we
come
did it.
back, you did, Camp.
Yeah.
You really picked up the pace. I asked more of you, and you delivered.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Now do it again next Monday.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's do this real quick before we cut to the break. The Oakland Basketball Show is, of course, brought to you
Happy cows?
by Prairie Farms. Camp.
Hey.
Yeah, absolutely. Farmer-owned dairy products from Prairie Farms are made with 100% real milk from local Michigan dairy farms. Prairie Farms, a proud sponsor of Oakland University Athletics. We'll be back with the final segment of the Oakland Basketball Show live from RJ's Pub in Rochester Hills.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card.
They say losing hope, that's the real disaster. When Tropical Storm Fred sent a devastating wall of water and debris down this river, it seemed hopeless. But when the waters receded, Belfour was here. Not just to rebuild, but to help restore the life of this community. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Your Oakland University Golden Grizzlies.
Drives to the basket, and it's in!
The biggest games on the blacktop.
4-3. Of course! Borowski from 3!
We need you there.
Golden Grizzlies fans, get out your dancing shoes!
Restoration is more than walls. It's more than paint. It's more than cleaning. That's the thing we'll never forget. For Belfour, it's your memories. It's your life's passion. It's your home. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Oakland Basketball Show live at RJ's Pub in Rochester Hills. Of course, he is a coach, Greg Kampe. My name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us in camp. First week, it feels like in a long time. We don't have to leave the state, as a matter of fact. Wednesday night at the Oakland University Credit Union Arena, IU Indy in town. That's a 7 o'clock tip. And then, of course, Saturday at 1 p.m. Callahan Hall, the Golden Grizzlies and Detroit Mercy. Love to see you out at both of the games if you can make it out. But we'll start with what's in front of us, IU Indy camp. And I think I got done doing the research on them this morning. And yeah, just on paper, that is a totally different basketball team, a very dangerous basketball team.
Yeah, they've come really close to winning a lot of games. They've won games. I mean, I think they beat Detroit by 30 or 40 last week. And again, they started 5 freshmen, I think, in that game. Detroit did. But the difference, what happened is they made a coaching change, and they brought there's a Division II school in Indianapolis that's had a lot of success. And they brought that coach from, and he brought a bunch of their players with him. And a top-level Division II team can win games into Division. I mean, when we were Division II teams, we won Division I games. They're not going to win the league. They're not going to, they might win the tournament, but it's going to be a struggle to over 20 games. But he's building something, and he's got some really good players, and they can really shoot the basketball.
Right.
And many teams in Division II win games because of the way they play fast and they score the ball, and that's what IU Indy can do. And I've met the coach, and I don't know him very well. He's a younger guy, but it's been very impressive. Very impressive looking at their team in film, looking what they're trying to accomplish. I think they'll have some good stuff against our zone, maybe some stuff we've never seen before. And, I'm excited to play against their team and just see what they do. Like I said, they can really shoot it. They're going to have to guard us, though. I mean, our offense has got to be good, and we've got to pound it inside and make them make decisions. And then we got to keep it at our pace. It can't be an up and down game. It can't be a 75 possession game. If it is, it could be anybody's game. We've got to keep it at our tempo.
Paul Casaro, he was at University of Indianapolis down there. He had back-to-back Division II tournament appearances and won the regular season conference championship, the Great Lakes Conference Championship, back-to-back seasons. And, Camp, we've seen this. And Bart Lundy at Milwaukee was a guy that was dominant during his time at Queens down in North Carolina. And, as you just talked about, obviously Oakland, when we made the transition, we won the league first year in Division I. Why does it work so well?
The Division II rules are different. And now they're starting to change, with all the lawsuits and now the 5th year. And back in the day, Division II you weren't 5-year, you got a 5-year window. In Division II, you don't have that. You had a 10-semester window. I remember playing against guys that were 30 years old. It's just the rules were different. The academic side of it was different. Back in the day when Division IIs were real good, there were guys that would transfer and didn't want to sit out a year, so they would go to Division II because they had immediate eligibility. And now, I don't think you'll see that. The reason Division II is going to be really good now is because a lot of high school kids are not going to get Division I scholarships, especially with this new JUCO rule. Think about if they come through and every JUCO kid. Right now the ruling was, the JUCO years don't count. So DQ played 2 years of junior college basketball, right? 2 years of division. If the court ruling holds, he's got 2 more years. Jalen Moore has 2 more years. He can come back and play. Think about that now. Now, the NCAA is appealing it, and under the appeal, they put a waiver in that they're going to allow only junior college kids like DQ whose eligibility is up. They're going to give them 1 year, next year. Right? So Alan McCabe has one more year, if he wants, to play. But if they lose the appeal, DQ would have 2 years. Jalen Moore would be able to come back and play 2 years, as long as he didn't play in the NBA. Christie, because it's not just junior college, it's non-NCAA basketball. So Malcolm Christie, who played 3 years in Canada, actually is a freshman right now under this ruling. I mean, it's crazy. Who's going to get killed because of this? High school kids.
High school kids, yeah.
Why would I take a 18-year-old kid when Malcolm is 22 and he's got 3 more years? Or DQ's going to be 35 or something maybe. I don't know. Alan McCabe. I mean, that guy's a man, right? I mean, he's. Do you want him as our center? Or do you want some, 18-year-old? I'm not going to recruit high school kids. Nobody is. So they're the ones that are going to, and so until there's some finality to it, until the appeal is heard, and again, the NCAA is going to get sued over the waiver, like I said, with DQ, because why is he being penalized? And he doesn't get the extra year just because it's his 6th year and he doesn't fit the 5-year window. The rules are. I mean, it's back in the day, and that's what got the NCAA in trouble. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a day that we could give them a bagel, but we couldn't put cream cheese on it. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
We could supply them bagels, but we could not supply cream cheese to go on the bagel. I mean, it's all coming to roost,
yeah.
right? It's all coming to roost, and now what we're going to see is utter chaos, and that's what, I mean, just think about that, if that rule. Malcolm Christie will have 3 more years, which means he could be 26 when he's a senior.
You know what else that means, Camp? When he's sitting here on the Oakland basketball show in 3 years, I can say, Malcolm, you've been doing this a long time. And then he would be like, hey, can you not say that?
He probably will say that to you.
Detroit Mercy, Saturday as well in Callahan. And look, you talked about kind of I want to say a shift in focus, but I mean, I guess it is kind of a shift in focus. But
well, there's 2 things that we always say, Neil.
Yeah.
Right? There's 2 things that I have said every day until this year. And that is, we don't lose on senior day, and we don't lose to Detroit. I tell my team that almost every day. I haven't said it once this year. Not once.
But, Camp, once this IU Indy game is over,
it's Detroit, and we got 2 days to get ready for them. But I'm not going to. We've made our point, right? There's a reason for that anger and that dislike and all that kind of stuff. Those people are all gone too. It's different people, the different athletic director, different coaches, different. It's different. Now it's still the rival, and it's a good rival. And I think Mark's gonna. Their new women's basketball coaches turned that thing around there, and they're winning. And I think Mark will win and win big for them. I really do. I mean, I really believe that he's going to do a great job for them. So, I'm not. We can't lose the Fort Wayne game because we beat Detroit. We've just got to take it like every other game, and I've got to move on from it, and I have.
30 seconds, Camp. What else you got?
We're going to find out if Saturday was the beginning of something great, or if it was just, Northern Kentucky didn't make shots and they didn't come back and beat us. Our guys have got to figure it out. We've got to figure out. We're entering games well prepared, and we're playing really well early. And then being able to sustain it for 40 minutes has been an issue for us. Getting a lead and handling a lead and understanding down and distance has been an issue for us. We got to fix that. And I'm not pointing a finger. It's really not in my hands anymore. It really isn't. They've got to do it. The leadership of this team has got to do it. We got to step up and make free throws. We've got to step up and be able to understand down and distance. And the other night at Northern Kentucky, the last 3 minutes of the half went bad. It all started. We're killing them, and we catch a ball with a foot out of bounds. Then we don't score again for the last 3 minutes of the half. Just little things that shoot yourself. Those things. It's like in football, it's like an offside penalty or a holding penalty, or you got a drive going and a guy jumps offside. It's just the discipline of doing things right, the little things.
For the head coach, Greg Kampe, and DQ Cole, my name is Neil Rule. Our producer, Greg Hessen, back in the studio. Thank you all for coming out to the Oakland Basketball Show live at RJ's Pub in Rochester Hills.